How can we make Allah love us more? How can we increase the love we have for our brothers and the love they have for us? If you want to know that, stay tuned. All praise is due to Allah. We praise Him, we seek His aid, and we ask for His forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from the evils of ourselves and the evils of our actions. Whomsoever Allah guides, none can misguide, and whomsoever Allah leaves to go astray, none can guide. And I bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah alone, who has no partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad is His servant and His messenger. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to a new episode of your show, For the Sake of Allah. I am your host, Moutasem Al-Hameedi. Today we will deal with another etiquette, beautiful one, that will strengthen brotherhood and it will enhance the quality of the Muslim society. We have brothers, Brother Muhammad and Brother Abdul Rahman with us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today's subject is one that we can implement in our everyday life. It is about visiting your brother. This is a beautiful aspect in Islamic life, and we all know about visiting. But one of the things that strengthen the love that you have for your brother and the love he has for you is that you visit him. But there are etiquettes and there are rulings and regulations related to the issue of visiting your brother. Inshallah, we'll come to know about this from the Book of Allah and the Sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I start first by asking Muhammad, do you visit your brothers in Al-Islam?
Yes, alhamdulillah, we do. It's visits for lectures and things like that, alhamdulillah. But also we make intention that we are going to visit brothers in the sake of Allah, inshallah. So it happens regularly, alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. And you try to use it for something beneficial, to learn or study
yes,
together?
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. MashaAllah. What about you, Abdul Rahman? How is it?
Alhamdulillah, we visit often and we try to learn from each other and benefit, and alhamdulillah.
Yeah, mashallah. You know that visit psychologically, when you come to a person to his house and you enjoy your time together, and maybe sometimes definitely you will have some food or some drink, you are together, it brings the hearts closer because you're coming to his house. House is the most private place in the world for the person. You're coming to that private place and he allows you in. It's sort of, I can say, it signifies that you are entering his life or you're entering his heart. That's the most special place for him, private place for him in the world. It's my house, my property.
Yeah, of course.
This is where I feel at ease. This is why I do whatever I want to do. It's my house. So, and generally we say feel at home, as if because you don't behave anywhere else as you behave at home. You are yourself at home. So now when you visit your brother in his house, you're entering his property, the most private place for him on earth. So entering that means he allows you into his life. It means there's some kind of, the hearts are close. There's intimate close relationship between you and him. There is mutual love for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you see the psychological aspect of it. And when someone allows you in, you appreciate that. It's his house. And if someone invites you to his house and you love that person, you'll feel some kind of happiness that you are getting closer to this brother. We reach the extent where he allows you inside his house. That's a beautiful thing. That's a new stage in a relationship. You know, maybe you have known someone for 2 years, 3 years, but you haven't been to his house. But when he says to you, come to my house, you feel that love is getting greater.
Closer.
Yeah, your hearts are getting closer. That's it. So you feel it. Have you come across something like that? Did you feel when you came to somebody's house that the relationship has become stronger? Abdul Rahman, have you felt that?
And usually my fans or my brothers that whom we visit each other in houses, we feel closer than brothers that we just meet outdoors. Of course, because like you said, Sheikh, it's somewhere that is really private.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It kind of breaks the ice too. Between brothers, it helps a lot in breaking the ice. So it has a lot of positive things there.
Do you think we find anything from the Sunnah, for example, about visiting one another? Have you come across any hadith or a verse about visiting and that increases love, or what virtues are in that? You know something, Muhammad?
Hadith for Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, that the Prophet ﷺ narrated that a man went to visit a brother for him in another village. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent an angel, and this angel asked the man, where are you going? So the man replied that I'm going for a visit to a brother. So the angel said, do you have a cause for the visit? The man said, no, I only going for the sake of Allah. إني أحبه في الله. So the angel replied that I just said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you like you love this man in the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
So because of him visiting his
brother.
brother.
Yeah, just for a visit.
Yeah, so he set out to travel from one village to another or one town to another.
Yes.
Just to see his brother, and he had nothing else but his love for him.
Yes.
MashaAllah.
So
it's a beautiful aspect.
Yeah.
See, when you set out, you pick up the phone, you say to your brother in a different city, well, I'm coming to visit you because I love you for the sake of Allah. Beautiful aspect of the life of the Muslim. Have you ever traveled, Abdul Rahman, to visit a brother? Or maybe...
Usually, if I travel, I visit family. And there's even in Islam, family or the brotherhood and family is very important. يعني أرسل من قطعك. Even if they're not in touch with me, I try to go and visit them, even if I don't see them.
MashaAllah.
Usually.
Yeah. And can you imagine the reward that you are getting if you travel to visit your brother?
Of course.
So it is. But there are things that are related. Some people, when you open your house for them, every day in the morning, they come and they knock on the door every day. It's just like a job, like a job, employment. So every day they are knocking on your door.
They'll be there.
They want you.
When they feel hungry, they just come to your house.
Do you think this is the way that visiting should be for the sake of Allah?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
There has to be like certain limits for it.
Yeah.
It has an etiquette. Like anything has an etiquette and art.
Yeah.
Visiting also.
You don't want the visit of that. Maybe you love him for the sake of Allah, but I mean, you have your own affairs to pursue. You have some work to do. You have your family to stay with.
Yeah.
So every day is coming to your house. Can I come in? And then, well, people are busy with different things, so we have to appreciate this. And the Prophet ﷺ says that when you visit moderately from time to time, Allah will increase you in love. زر غبا تزدد حبا. Visit from time to time, then moderately, then love will increase. But if you come every day, the person will get weary of you.
Yeah.
He'll get bored. If every day you come to me, that's really annoying.
True.
That's annoying. Yeah, and you see that moderation in everything in Islam, there is that kind of moderation, or the middle course. With everything we do, there is moderation. There's a limit. So we don't go beyond bounds and we don't fall short of the mark. With everything we are moderate. Now, what etiquettes can you think of visiting your brother?
Surely calling him before a visit.
Yeah.
That's a very good thing.
Yeah.
Today, everyone almost is very busy and people have their own commitments. So it's good to pick up the phone, speak to your brother, say to him, well, I intend to visit you. Which time is suitable for you? That's the best thing you say.
Yes.
What's the time that's suitable for you, that I come and pay you a visit? I would like to see you.
And sometimes it happens to me when a brother calls me, he's under my house. It's like, could I come? I'm under your house. So he puts me in a situation where I have to say yes. But maybe I'm busy. Maybe I'm doing something. So it's always better to take an appointment.
You know, this thing that you have just mentioned, it takes us to another Islamic teaching that has been abandoned by the people. One time, a young brother, he came and he said, you know that brother, I don't think that he really loves me. He has something against me. So I asked him, what's the problem? He said, well, I came to him and I pressed the button, and he answered me on the intercom, and he said to me, well, I'm busy now, sorry, I can't really let you in. So why did he do that? I mean, I'm his friend, I'm his close friend, I really love him, why does he do that to me? People don't really realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَإِذَا قِيلَ لَكُمْ ارْجِعُوا فَارْجِعُوا. If it's said to you, go back, then you have to go back. It's his right.
Yes,
it's his right.
It is true.
You can't really, deny him his right. Allah has given him this right to say no, because you just come to a person's house, you knock on the door, and, well, he's busy. He has his own private issues, at home. Maybe he's doing some work, maybe he's spending time with the family, maybe he's waiting for a guest or another guest or members of the family to come.
Needs some rest.
Yeah.
Or he needs some rest, maybe he's ill or that.
And like we said, we shouldn't misjudge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so you come.
We should give him, like you said, Sheikh, in the hadith, 70 excuses. We should make out 70 excuses.
Yeah. So, with regards to the visit, so it's good, that's a good etiquette, to pick up the phone, say to your brother, I would like to visit you, which time is suitable for you? That's a very good thing. Can you think of something else, Abdul Rahman, in terms of visit? What might be helpful to your brother when you visit him?
I heard in the hadith also, like when I go there and I ring, I should ring 3 times, and I ring the first, not 3 times in a row. The first I wait, the second I wait, the third I wait. If no one answers, I just leave.
Yeah,
We shouldn't just go and knock hard or ring really hard, like till the ringer burns or something.
Yeah.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah, there was a woman one day, people used to ask Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, because he was a great scholar. People used to come to his house and ask him questions. One day a woman came to his house and she knocked on the door really hard. So the Imam Ahmad, may Allah have mercy upon him, he said, this is the way the police knock on the door. Police knock on the door. So it's not the way friends or people who love you knock on the door. So really, when you knock on the door, the Prophet ﷺ taught us to knock on the door 3 times. 3 times. If you receive no answer, or the answer that you received was, well, please go back, then you have to go back. No offense. There's no offense. So this is a beautiful etiquette. And when you knock on the door, you don't knock really hard, because sometimes women get scared of that.
Yeah.
If you knock really hard, well, you frighten people, especially children.
Women and men also.
And children. And children. Yeah, so children sometimes, women. So sometimes people knock on the door really hard at night. It scares the people. And the Prophet ﷺ said, it is forbidden for a Muslim to frighten another Muslim. It's haram. So when you knock on the door, we knock in the way. That is a mild way. So they can hear that we are knocking, but without causing them without frightening them. So these are beautiful etiquettes. Inshallah, we'll carry on, but now we'll have to stop for a few minutes. And I say to our viewers, stay with us, we'll come back shortly.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala choose whom He wills subhanahu wa ta'ala for His mercy, for His messengership, for the revelation to be revealed. This is not for the human beings to make that decision. If a person would turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sincerely, truthfully, asking for forgiveness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised to forgive. We have as Muslims a duty, and that is to recite the book of Allah, to ponder over the verses, the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and to act according to the Quran. The mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala encompasses everything, but who would this mercy will be for? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent to all mankind. So the ummah, or the people of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, are all mankind since the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam till the day of judgment. Why waste our life without getting to know every verse in the Quran, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from us?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back. So we said that when you knock on the door, you don't knock in a harsh way so that you frighten the people, and it's not permissible in Al-Islam. Another thing, when you knock on the door, sometimes, let's say Muhammad, you knock on somebody's door and he says, "Who's that?" What would you say?
I'll answer him, who am I?
Okay,
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
mentioned your name.
Yeah.
What do you think people say, Abdul Rahman?
Sometimes most people say ana,
Ana.
me.
Me. It's
And
me.
it doesn't mean anything. It's like the shaitan, even the devil said that. Ana.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. Well, the person is asking, "Who are you?" because he wants to know your name. Everyone will say Ana. So
me.
there's no benefit when you say it's me or it's Ana. One day, actually, one of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, Jabir, may Allah be pleased with him, he said, "I came to the Messenger's house and I knocked on the door. So the Messenger ﷺ said, 'Who's that?' So I said, 'Ana, it's me.' So the Prophet ﷺ said, 'Ana, Ana, me,' as if he hated that answer. He didn't like that answer. So I mean, I'm asking you who you are because I want to know who you are, not just tell me Ana.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tell the name.
Yeah. I have a friend whose name was Anas. And when he was a child, every time he knocked on the door and they would say, "Who's that?" he would say Anas. They thought that he had said Anna.
Yeah.
So that caused a lot of trouble for him. So now it's a good etiquette. Who are you? For example, I'll say, "My name is Moutasem." Muhammad will say, "I'm Muhammad." So the person knows who's knocking on the door.
Yes.
This is why he asked the question in the first place. Okay, let's say the person opened the door for you and he let you in. You sat down. You had some good time together, inshallah. Okay, what some other mistakes do people fall into?
Sometimes I believe it's from the Sunnah. I heard that you wait till you get seated, and the owner or your friend, he seats you, but you don't just go in and sit down anywhere or take and open the radio or just go to the kitchen and
Yeah. You exactly sit where the person tells you to sit, because he knows. Because sometimes you will sit in a place where you will see, some other parts of the house he doesn't want you to see.
Yeah.
Maybe you will see a corridor where his wife passes through.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't see that. So he knows where to tell you to sit. So you sit where he tells you to sit. Sometimes people stay for hours. What do you think of that, Muhammad?
Well, that's like annoying. That's over the limits a little bit. Yeah. But you have to be careful about how long you stay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like
it happens.
okay.
It even happened to me once, and it kind of put me in a bad situation because I kept on even telling him, "I'm really sleepy right now. Why don't I sleep and you sleep?" And he doesn't understand. He's still okay. So what are we gonna do now?
Okay, so we want to pay attention to this, because visiting in the first place is an act of worship, and visiting your brother, and it strengthens also the love, the mutual love. This is why we are visiting one another, because of the love that we have. We want to strengthen this love. This thing causes your brother to become weary of you also.
Yeah.
So I have other things to do. You're not the only thing in the world that I'm busy with. So I need to do other things. We have to appreciate this. You visit him for a short time, and that's enough. That you leave. After that you leave. Okay, what do you generally do when you sit with your friends, Abdul Rahman? When you spend time, when you visit a brother, what do you do generally?
Usually, first of all, if it's a brother I didn't see from a long time, ask about him, about and his news. He update his news. I see how's he doing. Ask about his family, everything.
Okay, after that, what happens? You run out of topics to talk about. Let's see, Muhammad. Muhammad, what do you do when you visit your brothers?
Mostly it's like some knowledge about the deen and things like that. Other than that, it's like a bit of amusement, like some video games or just like that. Yeah.
Okay, the best thing what strengthens brotherhood is that you spend your time either remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, reminding yourselves, reminding one another of things of the religion, studying. This is the best thing to do, and not waste your time with other things, because this will strengthen the love, and the bond that is between you in the first place is the love for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, the people of the past, they had beautiful examples of how they visited one another and they paid great attention to that. Have you come across some incident? Do you know about something, Muhammad?
Well, I've read about the story about Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal when he got out of prison. So he was kind of sure that Ishaq Abu Rawiya, a scholar, was coming up to visit him. So he wanted to take the first step and go down to his house and visit him. So he went to his town, and it was like almost a rainy night. So he stayed in the masjid for a while till the rain would stop. But they were, unfortunately, they wanted to close out the masjid. So they asked him out. So he went, and he was like walking in the street, and he accidentally passed by the Imam Ishaq Abu Rawiya's house. So he let him in without knowing who he was, and he gave him dry clothes and invited him for dinner. So while they were eating, Ishaq Abu Rawiya, Imam Ishaq Abu Rawiya asked, do you know where do you come from? So Imam Ahmad said, from Baghdad. So he told him, did you ever hear about Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal? He said, well, I am the Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. So he said, Ishaq said, it's me, Ishaq Abu Rawiya, and I was coming to visit you. So it's like Imam Ahmad was sure that a scholar would do the sunnah and visit.
Subhanallah, yeah. That's really amazing. Do you know, Ishaq ibn Rawiya, he used to live in Al-Ray, that's in Iran. That's really far from Baghdad, yeah.
It is.
So that's really amazing. Both of them wanted to visit each other. This is how we know that we strengthen our love when we visit, but in accordance with the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In accordance with the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We don't really, as you said, spend a long time with the brother and then waste his time. Maybe he has some other things to do. No, we visit moderately. Abdul Rahman, have you come across an incident where someone, for example, was really annoying you with staying a long time in your house or something?
Yeah, once it happened, and I actually have my mom with me, and my mom usually wakes up in Fajr, and she likes praying outside, not in her room. So he wanted to stay really long because I didn't see him a long time ago. But I told him indirectly, you gotta leave, but he didn't understand. So that kind of caused a problem. Yeah. And it made me talk to my mom even though she's still awake, and I don't like talking to her when she's just awake because you're still tired. Yeah. That's it.
But it's hard to be, stuck with someone who's thick, you know. Anyway, well, what we say, this is a beautiful aspect of Islamic life, really, to visit, and we have to. The wisdom behind it to increase this love. When it reaches the stage where it will harm that love, mutual love that we have for one another, then we know that we have, exceeded the limits in that. So we have to be moderate in that, and we have to follow the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Allah, reprimanded some of the believers for spending a long time with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his house, and he said, or he referred that this really harms the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. فَيَسْتَحْيِي مِنْكُمْ. So the Prophet really feels shy to tell you that, well, I need to be by myself. I have some other issues to look after. So, this really, so we should be, the Muslim has to be observant and attentive. You could understand, the Muslim is sharp. You understand when the signs, or the insinuation from some brother. He shows to you that, well, it's not the right time. But the good thing is to be honest enough and open to our brothers that, okay, I would like to visit you today. Say, I'm really busy today. No problem. No hard feelings. No hard feelings. Well, this is how the relationship should be. And we can see how visiting one another really increases that love. Because as I said, you are coming to my house, the most private place for me on earth. So it means I'm allowing you into my heart, into my life, and you're just like part of my family. A part of my family. You have this warm feeling when you visit. And visit, as you said, has to be done moderately, and it becomes more recommended and more obligatory upon you is when your brother falls ill, for example, or when he needs help and he needs support. So you go there and support him. And when something good happens to him, for example, the time of marriage, you go and visit him to congratulate him.
Yes.
For example, time of hardship, they're going through a hardship, you go and visit him to support him and encourage him and raise his morale and all that. So you see how Islam is very much concerned about the way Muslims perceive one another, the way they help one another, the way they look after one another. It's a beautiful life if we really implement it. And okay, do you think, Abdul Rahman, that visiting is something that the Muslims have fallen short into, or they have really exceeded the limits in that? What do you think today with regards to one another, brothers?
Actually, you find these two aspects. You find people becoming really because they're really so to their business or into their daily life routine, so they forget about the brothers and they don't visit at all, or the opposite. Some they don't have a limit and they just go, and they could even sleep over.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true. You know, some people feel shy to pay a brother a visit because they think, well, we are imposing ourselves on him. Okay, so they don't pay a visit. So maybe you have the love for this brother, but he doesn't show up to your house, even if you have known him for 2 or 3 years. He doesn't mean that, but he's shy to pay a visit. So if you know that your brother is shy, you should try to break that barrier and tell him, you invite him to your house. Maybe at the beginning he will say, well, I apologize, I might be busy, I don't like to be imposing. So, but no, encourage him to pay visit and to implement this beautiful sunnah, so that our houses, we receive the good people in our houses, we invite them, and this is how the Messenger ﷺ used to be to the Muslims. He opened his house for them.
And some brothers are even shy to invite you because, for example, they are shy of their house, or they feel like you are kind of richer and they have a small house, so they feel ashamed. They have this kind of problem, some of the brothers.
Well, this shouldn't be the case anyway. So alhamdulillah, mashallah, today we dealt with a very beautiful subject, and it's good to implement it. You see, we are having piles of things to implement, but they are easy and they are beautiful. They will bring tranquility to us and strengthen the brotherhood, and I hope, inshallah, we have benefited from that. Jazakumullah khairan for being with us today. And I say to our viewers, barakallahu feekum, and jazakumullah khairan for being with us and for your patience. And I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bless us all, and I hope, inshallah, we will implement these beautiful advice and beautiful aspects of social life. And I say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.